I never believed in fear until it knocked on my door. It was supposed to be just another Friday night. My parents were out of town, and I had the entire house to myself. A 2-story place on the edge of town, where the streetlights barely stretched their fingers and shadows swallowed the sidewalks whole. The kind of neighborhood where silence gets thick, almost tangible. I locked the doors, double-checked the windows, and settled in with a bowl of popcorn and a half-charged phone. It started with a single knock. A low, hollow tap at the front door. I paused the movie, the laughter of sitcom characters freezing in midair. My first thought was the wind, but there was no wind, not even a whisper of it outside. I shrugged it off. Paranoia. It had to be, but then it came again. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Knock, knock, knock. I stood up, heart ticking a bit faster. I edged toward the door, peeking through the eye hole. Darkness stare back. No footsteps, no shuffling, just stillness. I leaned back, a nervous laugh slipping out. Get it together, I whispered to myself. I clicked the deadbolt, making sure it was secure, and stepped away. I had barely made it back to the couch when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Did you hear that? I stared at the screen, a chill brushing the back of my neck. Fingers hovering over the keys, I typed back. Who is this? 3 dots blinked on the screen. Then, check the door. A spike of adrenaline shot through me. I looked at the door, still locked, still closed. My mind scrambled for logic. A prank? Maybe some idiot with a spoof number? My fingers were shaking now. Not funny, I replied, setting the phone down. But it buzzed again almost immediately. I'm not joking. Check the door. The knocks returned, louder this time. Knock, knock, knock. I flinched, nearly dropping my phone. I moved slowly, every step louder than the last. I pressed my eye against the peephole. There was someone there. A figure stood in the darkness. Tall, unmoving, head slightly tilted as if listening. I sucked in a breath, stumbling backward. My phone buzzed again, but I ignored it. I sprinted to the back door, locked. Windows shut tight. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen drawer, hands slick with sweat. My phone buzzed again. I hesitated, then glanced at it. Why did you leave? I just want to talk. My stomach twisted. I didn't reply. I dialed 911 instead, pressing the phone on my ear. The line rang, and rang, and rang. Static crackled through the speaker. I pulled the phone back. No service. The knock started again, slower. Knock, knock, knock. I ran upstairs, the knife clenched tight, and locked myself in my room. I shoved my dresser in front of the door, barricading it. My phone vibrated on the bed. I can hear you upstairs. I dropped the phone. My breath came in sharp bursts. This couldn't be real. I scanned the room. Window locked, blinds drawn. I crawled to the corner, knife in hand, eyes glued to the door. Minutes passed. Silence thickened the air, stretching longer and longer until it felt like I might suffocate. My phone buzzed again, lighting up the room. I'm coming up. A creak sounded from the staircase. Slow, deliberate footsteps. One step, then another. I held my breath, ears straining against the silence. The steps grew louder, closer. They stopped just outside my door. I could see the shadow beneath the crack. Motionless, waiting. Then a whisper. I'm home. I bit back a scream. My hands were slick with sweat. I could feel the blades slipping. My phone buzzed once more. Open the door. I just want to see you. I shook my head, heart slamming against my ribs. Go away, I shouted, voice cracking. Silence answered. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then the footsteps started again, moving away, back down the stairs. I crawled toward the window, peeking through the blinds. The street was empty, deserted. I grabbed my phone, fingers slipping over the screen as I dialed again. This time, the line clicked. 911, what's your emergency? I nearly sobbed. Someone's in my house. Please send someone. The operator's voice was calm. Too calm. Are you sure you're alone? I paused, glancing around the room. I think so. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "Because I see you." My screen flashed. A new message appeared. "I'm upstairs." The line went dead. That's when I heard the knocking again, this time from inside the closet. When the police finally arrived, they found my front door locked, windows unbroken. But inside my bedroom closet, tucked between hanging coats, there were muddy footprints. And on the wall, scratched with something sharp, were the words, "I'm still here." I found the first photograph wedged under my door. At first, I thought it was just junk mail, maybe a flyer that got crumpled up and shoved through. But when I picked it up, my stomach tightened. It was a Polaroid of my living room, taken from outside the window. I stared at it, the grainy image capturing my couch, the corner of the TV, and the blinds half drawn. It wasn't the photo itself that sent a chill down my spine. It was the timestamp written on the bottom edge, 2:43 a.m. I was asleep upstairs at that time. My first thought was some sort of prank, maybe a neighbor messing around. I tossed the Polaroid on the counter and locked the door, double-checking the windows before heading upstairs. My house was quiet, almost oppressively so. I could hear the hum of the fridge from the kitchen, the soft ticking of the clock in the hallway. Every sound seemed amplified. I tried to brush it off, but sleep didn't come easily that night. Every creak of the floorboards felt heavier. Every gust of wind against the window made me flinch. I must have drifted off eventually, but I woke up to something far worse. A second Polaroid slipped just beneath my bedroom door. This one was closer, the same timestamp as before, 2:43 a.m. But now the image was of my staircase, the angle sharp and tilted as if taken while moving. I held it in my hand for a long moment, trying to steady my breathing. Someone had been inside my house. Someone had walked to my stairs while I slept. My hands shook as I checked the locks again, the windows, every crevice and corner of the house. Nothing was out of place. No signs of forced entry. I considered calling the police, but what would I say? That someone left photographs? That I felt watched? They'd probably chalk it up to paranoia. That night, I stayed awake, knife in hand, every light in the house blazing. I watched the windows, listened for footsteps. My phone sat next to me, 911 pre-dialed, my thumb hovering just above the screen. At exactly 2:43 a.m., my phone buzzed. A single text from an unknown number, smile. I nearly dropped the phone. My eyes flicked up to the window. The blinds were half drawn, just like in the photograph. I crossed the room in 2 strides, yanking the blinds down with trembling hands. Outside, the street was empty, silent. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to calm down. It had to be a joke. Someone was messing with me. But the next morning, another Polaroid slipped under my door. This time, I couldn't even breathe. It was me, standing at the window, looking out. The timestamp read 2:43 a.m. My mind raced. I had locked everything, double-checked. How were they getting in? I dialed the police this time, practically shouting into the phone. They came, searched the house, took the photographs as evidence. They assured me everything was locked, no signs of forced entry, no footprints, nothing. They left me with a number to call if I saw anything suspicious, as if this wasn't already beyond that. That night, I didn't sleep. I barricaded the front door, pushed furniture against every window. I sat on the couch, knife on my lap, eyes fixed on the front door. 2:00 a.m. 2:15. 2:30. At 2:43 a.m., the doorbell rang. I froze. It rang again. I clenched the knife, tiptoeing toward the peephole. Through the lens, I saw nothing, just the empty porch. The doorbell chimed a 3rd time. I swallowed, my hand trembling as I reached for the doorknob. I yanked it open, knife raised. Nobody there, but sitting on the doormat was another Polaroid. My hand shook as I picked it up, flipping it over. It was a picture of me, holding the knife, standing at the door, taken from the inside of the house. The timestamp read 2:43 a.m. I stumbled back, eyes darting to the hallway mirror. That's when I saw it. A flicker of movement, a shadow slipping behind me in the reflection. I spun around, knife raised. Empty. Nothing. I stared at the mirror, my own terrified face staring back. But there, just behind my reflection, a pair of eyes blinked. Not mine. Watching. Smiling. The police found me the next morning, clutching the Polaroid, mirrors in the house shattered, furniture overturned. They asked who I was running from, but I couldn't explain, because I didn't know. All I knew was that every mirror in my house had a photograph taped to it, all stamped with the same time, 2:43 a.m.